Hello everyone, here are two more junk journals I'm going to show you. These are the two just recently done. So let's do a quick flip through these. Now this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 signatures in it. So it is pretty thick, pretty munchy crunchy. Has a lot in it. And this one would be $100. This one here. So let's flip through this one. Here is a bag that someone gifted me, and I made a pocket out of that. And this also has the birthday cake that the buttons flip up. And this one I used up some book pages out of the books that I create these journals with. And these are made out of old books. So here's some tucks. This is a hidden paper clip I made, and I put some little, this here is a 4x4 piece of paper or card picture. And then you fold it. You open it back up, and then you're going to cut just one fold here. And that way you can fold it, flip it, fold it, and have a little place to write on. And then you can tuck it in here. This is just paper clipped in here, and it's got all kinds of pockets. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 on here. And when you pull it out, flip it over, it has 2 more places to put your pretty thing. So let's move this. Maybe we'll see a little better. There we go. There we go. That's better. This is made out of a book page. It's got little tucks. I think it has like 5 tucks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 4. 5 actually if you slip one in the back. This is made out of a book page, and it's a tuck. This is a homemade envelope out of a book page, and it's got papers in it. This is a piece of 4x4 sheet of paper. This is a homemade paper that I get at the Dollar Tree. And you can get like a whole thick pack of the paper, all different sizes, for like $1.25. And I just folded it up and glued and made tucks. This one I really like. This here came out of a flower magazine. And when you opened it, it had the flower again here. And I added 2 pages here that you can journal on. And then when you close it, it makes the picture up again. So I thought that was really pretty, and I really liked it. And thought, I am going to save this and use it in a journal. And that's what I did. This is an envelope that I wrapped around. I just cut where these 2 flaps go down, where you seal your envelope. And then I wrapped the envelope around the page in this one. If I can get it open. My fingers aren't working today. It's been a long day. We'll just pull it open. And then you can tuck things in there. And I stamped on these, and then behind it you can tuck. This is ledger paper, and these papers here, cardstock. I went to a yard sale, and a woman had a whole big box of 12x12 cardstocks, and for like a little bit of nothing, $5 for the box, I think I paid for it, and I bought the whole box. And this is also out of that flower ordering magazine And then I just made, and these here, I put these little strings and I let them all hang out the top of this journal. And I just, like I said, I just love making these. And selling them to people or giving them as gifts. And this is a bag I wrote love on with chalk that I got from the dollar store. And there was 12 of these bags for $1. And then I've made some out of vellum. The vellum is the clear, like tracing paper, but it's a little thicker than tracing paper. And that's what I used in one of the books I showed earlier on a video, that you could see through the papers. These are, I believe I think I got these from Scrapbooking with Me. And I use her stuff a lot in my books. I don't give them away or nothing, but she gives them for free if you join her channel. And you can use them in your books and sell your books with these in them, but not sell her papers. So this here is called Waterfall. And all these little things come down. And each one of these is a tuck. Each one of these is a little tuck that you can hide something in, put a treasure in, notes in, and they all come up. I have 2 of these in this book. This one goes down, and the other one comes up. So you'll see it here in a little bit. More ledger paper. And there's a lot of, this is coffee dyed. This is my coffee dyed paper. But there's a lot of space in here for you to add your own or write in, whichever you want. Here's another one of those envelopes with a paper tuck in it. This envelope is made out of the vellum. I made this envelope homemade. It's see-through. And you could tuck your little pictures in there or something that you want to be able to see. And they're real easy to make. I love making more of my coffee dyed paper. And this is more of Scrapbooking with Me. You'll have to check her channel out on YouTube too. Her and Pam at the Paper Outpost. Great ladies. There's the ones that I watched. Their videos. But the woman who got me started, her name is J Met. Pluck the Patriarchy on Facebook. I love her. She got me started, and then I started watching other people and started doing it, and I loved it. This is just a scrap piece of paper that I glued as a tuck. And then I put a postcard in here and another piece of paper you can write on. And they just slide in there like that. I try to use up all my scraps. This here was a scrap piece. And on each little end here, has a tuck for papers. And I thought it was cute. And it is a hidden paper clip, actually, as well. So you could clip something on this side. This here also was a scrap. And I decorated it with butterflies flying up. And then tuck a card in there for you to write on. What you see what I did with these. I cut these triangles out. And with the scrap piece of paper, I thought that is pretty cool. But I just tucked a ledger paper in between here. You can put anything in between these 2 triangles. Just a different way to use tucks. And here again, I used the same ribbon that I did in a couple other books to make a pocket. And then here's the waterfall that I showed you earlier. It's coming out. That went down. This one comes up. And it has each little one of these as place to tuck your stuff. See, I have a little paper tucked in there. If I can get it back down in there. But you get the gist of it. I'll put it back in there a little bit. But each one has a piece of paper in it. And it comes up and the other one comes down. And when you lift all these up, I stamped enjoy the little things. So there are all kinds of ideas I get off of YouTube. And some of them I come up with myself to decorate these books. And here's another one of those side tucks. more ledger paper, more of my coffee dyed paper. And here is a homemade drop down that you can write on. I made this and it just drops down and it has lines on it to write. I think the lines are very fainted, but you can write on it. And then it just folds back up and you clip it. And then you have more space here to write if you wanted. This is a stamp that I have that makes lines to write on. And this is another little envelope that I made out of the vellum that you can see through. And I have a little piece of paper in there and you can see it through the envelope. Here's another tuck that I used from scrap. It says one fine day, and then I'll put this in here for you to write on. More coffee dyed. Another scrap piece that I used as a tuck up there. Other scrap piece I just glued here and put a card in. This is just a card that I've glued in here. I love the flowers. You can open it up right on both sides. And there is the piece that I cut the triangles out that I used back here. And I thought it was so cute. And it is made a great tuck. Made a great place to tuck something. And it was unusual. And it's just using up your scraps. I made this paper clip. It has the little, looks like little flags. And it's got a paper tucked in it to write on. And it has one on the other side that I made. Just this came out of the Flower magazine. And I glued index card on the back so you can write on them. It has the lines. This here is an envelope, if you can see. It has a boat, sailboat. And I glued it down. This is the enclosure to the envelope. And I made a pocket here where you can put stuff. And then in here is the card that came with the envelope. And it has the boat on the outside. And then on the inside, it has the sailboat. Really pretty. I thought it was so cute. So cute. And just more tucks. More of these with the ribbons that stick out the top. This here is a see-through bag that I made out of the vellum. And I made my own template. So I can make my own little bags like the ones I bought from the dollar store that I showed you there a little bit ago. And this was a scrap. And then I just used the piece off of it up here to just make the scallops. It's just for show. Here is a envelope I made. It has a snap on it. And you open it. And it has a place to have a card in there. And you snap it shut. Some more tucks I've made. Oops. And then this is the same concept as the waterfall going up or down. These are little envelopes. I think are so cute. So cute. And then you flip it, open, flip it. They all open. If they all flip and open, and they all have little cards that I've already put in there. And then you can write here. And you have writing space here and a place to put all your goodies. I like that idea. And then there's another tuck. And that is this book. This is this one that I made. And also on the front, I made a picture pocket out of an envelope that has the see-through thing on the front where you can see your address and all that in it. I made a picture And then I made this pretty little card with the daisies, which matches the daisy theme I was going. And it has a cute little butterfly here. And then it also has the metal corners on it. So this one is $100. The next one I'm going to show you, this one. And it has the metal corners on it here too. And I've used this material. I think I've only got a little bit of it left. But I have some material I've got at Joann's Fabrics and all. This one, believe it or not, was made out of a boot box. It's made out of cardboard. And I repurposed it. I got a pair of muck boots last year. And to muck around in the garden. Of course, we didn't have very much rain, so there wasn't much mucking to do. But this is actually made out of a cardboard box. And I made the back here, shaped it. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 signatures that I sewed in. This one. And this one has the vellum in it that shows you this page. This has the deer. This has the same concept as of the 3-layer cake with the buttons that lift up. You can write on and they come down. And then in the back, I made it as a tuck too. And it's got a bunch of papers there that I put in there for you to use. And like I said, this one is full also of really pretty things. This one's sort of glued to the page. But anyway, here's, this is made out of the same flower magazine. And then I put a little flower sticker there. And then it has the different writing cards. This has a butterflies on it. You can see there's a butterfly and flowers. It's pretty. And then a couple of these flowery, lacy papers. And here's another one of the bags that I picked up at the dollar store for a little bit of nothing. This is an envelope that I stamped. And if you fold it over, I glued writing paper here, and inside here I've tucked another piece of paper for you to write on. And if you flip it, there's quite a few in this one. We use the envelope close part as a tuck also. Here's another homemade envelope out of the cardstock that I got at a yard sale. And it's got things in there and a place in the back also to tuck. This is homemade out of a piece of coffee dyed paper. And it's got tucks. And each signature starts and ends with the vellum, so you can see. And this one starts with the vellum. And it has pretty. This is another one of the envelopes I made that has a snap. You can open. And here's a place to tuck a card. And then I added this one on the front, this piece. There's another place to tuck cards. And then you can tuck them in behind. I left it so things could be tucked in behind it. And this is one of the envelopes that has the see-through in it. And I made it a see-through pocket. And then I put a little tuck here. I added that on, so this here is a tuck. And then you've got a place in here. It's got a picture. And then a tuck behind it. So this one actually has 1, 2, 3 places to tuck something. And then, of course, my coffee dyed paper. I do all my coffee dyed. This envelope I made myself. And then I stuck the sticker there that says wonderful on it. And then there is a card in there. More tucks. This is an envelope. And on the front of the envelope, I put this tuck. Then it opens like the other one did. Writing card. And then when you flip it, this becomes a tuck here for a card. This is more coffee dyed. There's a little bag there with a little pretty tuck thing in it, a little card in it. This is I did not make this envelope. I actually bought these at the dollar store, and it has a card in there that opens up and you can write on it. And then I just added cute little box of flowers on there. And then there's the end of this signature and the beginning of the next. So when you flip this over, you can still see the pretty picture here. And then you begin this one with the mama bear and the baby bear. This is an envelope that I cut at an angle. It made 2 pockets. I got to use this twice. So it made another one. And this is on top of a pink envelope. And like I said, I tried to do every signature with one. And there you go with the writing space, a card in there to write, flip it over, and there's a place to tuck a card to write. This here is homemade. I put a lacy, if you can see it, a lacy butterfly glued onto this one. And it's also a tuck, and it's got a few things tucked in there. And these pretty rose flowers, where are they? This paper here, I got at a thrift store. I think I got 50 sheets for 50 cents or 25 cents, something like that. It wasn't very much. Wasn't very much at all. Same with this. I got this at the same thrift store. I think there was 4 packs, and they were 25 cents a piece. And they had 50 in them. And here's an envelope that I inked around and glued down and left this as a tuck in the back, and then a tuck here. Now these here have got a lot of pages, and there's another one of those little bags that I put something in a little boot. This is a homemade envelope that I made, and it has a card in there. And this is just made out of cardstock. I think I'll put the papers over there. I'd get up and show you. But it's just smaller sheets, maybe a little, about this wide as this, and only about this long. And there's a cute little envelope that I made tucks out of, and then the sticker that says love. And then again, each signature ends with the vellum that covers it, so you can see through. Begins with the vellum. Vellum, like I said, is a thicker tracing paper. It's a thicker, not as thin as the other tracing paper. This here is a paper dooley, and I inked it with my ink. I love using this distressed ink that comes in all different colors. These are all different colors, and then I've got blues and purples and pinks and all other different colors. And you can get those off of Amazon. And I think maybe Joann's. I'm not sure if she sells them or not. But that's what this is. It is a paper dooley, and I made it into a pocket. And it has 2 places, two different tuck places in it. So moving on. This is also a homemade bag that I made out of cardstock. And it has, and I decorated it with a sticker here and there. And like I said, there is still bluff pages that you can decorate or write yourself. This again is a Lindor chocolate bag with the little window repurposed. And it is also a nice little tuck with stickers. And here's a homemade envelope that I folded down, or a little tuck, and it has a card in there. Believe me, it has a card in there. And then this is a tuck with a card that you can write on. Like I said, this one and the last one I just showed you are 100 because they have a lot more signatures, and it took a lot more paper. And there's a cute little postcard. She's cooking. I love those. I get these off of Temu or yard sales, or some people just give me cards and other things. And here we go with the vellum again. This is the end of that signature and the beginning of the next. This here was scraps of a big piece, 12 by 12, and I used it for something. So then I made a tuck, and I used the scraps and made different size cards to write on. And here's another one of those cute little homemade scrap. I used scrap pieces of my paper and made a little writing pad. And it has 10 sheets of paper there to write on, and just glued it on there. This here is a cute little, these here were leftover blank pages when you cut out the pages of, cut the book pages out of the book. Some in the front and some in the back are, they start with just plain paper. So I glued this one in here, and it has, you open it, it has one where you can write. Get my fingers, 2, 3. So it has 1, 2, 3. 3 paper, just extra writing paper in there. Just extra writing. This here was just a white piece of cardstock that had roses and stuff on it. So I just used my different colored inks I just showed you and just inked it different colors like rainbows and used it as a tuck. And it says, "Let love grow." I stamped it up there, "Let love grow." There's the other half of that envelope that I used earlier and cut at an angle. And it is on a purple envelope that flips. Writing spot, or a place to tuck spots. And then on the other side is a place to tuck cards, which I've already tucked a couple in for you. And then just a scrap piece of paper that I put a card in that has all kinds of butterflies and flowers and bird cages, and you can write on it, and it just tucks right back up in there. This is a bag that I made out of the same papers I was telling you about that has the scallops here at the edge, and they have cards there and cards there that are tucked in for you to write on. So these are 2 different pieces of paper. I glued one on top of the other, and I glued this one down first and then laid this one on there and glued it so it made 2 different pockets. And there is the other half of the rose paper that I colored, and I put flowers here, and the flower spells out joy down there. Joy. Joy is one of my favorite words. And this is another scrap piece that I made a tuck, and I'll put your card in there. This is another half of an envelope. And this one opens up, so you can write here. It's got a writing piece of paper here. And then I glued this on, and it has a tuck there, so you can use it as well. And then this envelope opens up, just like the others. And then there's cards there. More side tucks. Coffee dyed paper. And envelope that's glued down, so you can use the top part. And then in here, and I inked all the way around it. This is a homemade pocket I made out of coffee dyed paper. And you can stuff something behind it, something inside of it. And then the vellum again, which covers the back page with the owl. And then the beginning of the last signature in this one. Like I said, this one has 7. The last one had 6. So it's a lot of paper you use. And then here's a side tuck with some cards in it. Here's another one of those cute little notebooks to write in. Another homemade envelope that you can open And it has a card in it. And a space behind it to tuck something. And this is the last envelope that I made. And it opens. And it has a card in there. And a writing space here. And you flip it. And this became a tuck. And there's a card right here. It tucks in that spot. And another cute little envelope that I made. And it has card stuck inside of it. Card stuck behind it. And then here I put a sticker that says, Vision, the art of seeing things invisible. Yeah. And here we go with the same concept with the leftover papers that is in your, when you cut out your book pages, and made extra writing pages here. And this says, Cherish. And then the end of the book with the owl and the vellum that closes it. And like I said, this one is pretty chunky, like the other one, and this one. And each one of these are $100, and they are filled. If you can see how chunky these are, and you can still fill them. I mean, don't be afraid to make them even thicker and thicker and thicker with your treasures. I put in mine, I saved tickets from my granddaughter's basketball and volleyball. My other granddaughter is a rodeo barrel racer, so I saved the tickets from her rodeos that I go to and put them in there. I saved their band scheduling where their names are on there, what instrument that they play or what lineup they are in chorus, whether they sing soprano or alto, baseball tickets, pictures, little things they write me. I put all kinds of stuff in mine. I have a couple junk journals of my own, and I'm working on one right now that a friend gave me. It already had papers in it. They were just blank. They look like coffee dyed paper, but they're not. They're just brown pages. And I've been adding little things that I make in it. Give me ideas for the other journals that I'll be making. Now, sometime next week, in between working, I will be putting this one together. And I'll do a live on, probably a couple lives. I've already cut the pages out. This is the pages that was in the book. I've already got my cardboard ready to sew my pages in. And then they go in here. And I'm going to cover this one, I think, in dragonfly material. So I have to put the material on this and gather up my pages. This will probably have 4 signatures. I think 4 will fit. And then you sew each signature down onto this cardboard. And then you glue the cardboard. Right here where the pages would be, you glue your pages in. And then you have to let it dry. And then you start decorating. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like my YouTube channel. And I hope to see you again real soon. Thank you all for watching. Have a great afternoon and evening. And bye-bye.